Alright, so to go ahead and start creating an assembly exploded view drawing here, what we're going to do is we need to first start IPN, which is an inventor presentation file. So I'm going to hit File, I'm going to go to New, and again, make sure I'm in English because I'm working in inches right now. I'm going to slide down here to the bottom, and this is a standard inch IPN, inventor presentation. Then we're going to hit Create. Now, once we open up the inventor presentation file, it immediately asks us to go ahead and create or install a particular assembly. So here's the assembly that I've been working with, and I'll hit open, and now I have the assembly. Now, some things just to look at. Up here we got tools. This is how we're going to then work with the storyboard down here. And then we have snapshots, which end up over here. Those are different places in the assembly process that we want to get pictures of. And then we have tweak components. So let's just then start looking at this area down here, and then also the browser window over here to the left. So this is our assembly area. And again, if you hold down Shift and the middle mouse, you can slide around. Same thing with the F4 and the left mouse, you can move, and then cube also functions. Now, when you start moving parts, you want all your parts to be based off an isometric view. So you want to be on one of those corner pieces there, the cube. And then as you start to pull components, those components should be moving in isometric axes. Okay, so something there to remember. As we move over here to the browser and you open up the assembly here, so the scene, the assembly, here's all the parts and pieces. All right, so these are all the parts and pieces that are in our assembly, and you see them highlight as you go forward here. So what we're going to do is we want to go ahead and start pulling apart this assembly so that the parts really look as if they could be put back together from the positions that they are moved to. So we need to think about that as we go forward. So let's also look at what might be a assembly versus a sub-assembly. So this is a full assembly. And then of course the frame, the gear, the handle, and this shaft, this could also be considered a sub-assembly. So let's go ahead and we'll select components of the sub-assembly, and then we'll go ahead and move it up and off first, and then we'll pull those pieces off after that. Okay? So to do this, what we can do is hold down the control button, and then we go over and we start selecting these parts. So I selected the frame, I'm going to select the shaft there, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, get the handle, and as you can see, they're also highlighting over here on the browser. So here you can see part 10-1 here is also highlighted. I can hold down control and I can select things over here in the browser. So if I want to go up and down and find a gear, there's called part 8 better 1, hold down control and select it. And let's go ahead, we can also grab these two fasteners. Now, there is a shaft that's running through that gear. I believe it's probably part 10-2 here. But I want to verify that that is 10-2. So I'm going to turn. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, see there it is, and if I mouse over it, yep, 10-2 starts to highlight. So I'm going to hold down control again and select 10-2. So there's everything I want to be selected, and I'm going to go back here to that isometric view, and I want to go ahead and tweak and pull them up. So I'll grab this tweak components button, and then I want to go ahead and locate the, I'm going to go ahead and manually locate my arrows for pulling. And I'm going to go ahead and place that right here because I want to know that I'm going to be pulling straight up on that isometric axis. So move the model down so you can have some space to go up here. So we're going to then select left click hold and start dragging up. And then I'm going to move this up and off of the part. And I'm going to give myself a good amount of real estate because I got to remember that what's going to happen also is I believe we're going to end up pulling this crush plate later up and off as well. So I want to be aware that I have enough space there. So we'll go up here just a little bit further, and I got plenty of room. So when I'm finished, I hit this green check. All right. Now we'll deal with some tweak line issues here later as we finish up towards the end of the assembly. So we'll keep moving. So let's go ahead and start pulling the rest of these parts apart here. So we'll go ahead and let's take off this wing nut. So I select the wing nut, tweak components. Again, grab the isometric axis, pull this out. Good. And hit the green check. Same thing again. Going to go ahead and grab the fastener, and then we'll go ahead and pull that out the other side. Now, we're pulling things far enough apart so they do not overlap. All right, we really want things to be as clean as we can make them so they're not overlapping. Now, as I pull this handle out, so I'm going to pull a few things. I'm actually going to pull this shaft. All right, so hold down control, grab the shaft. I'm going to go ahead and grab the handle, and I'm going to grab the center pin there. The reason why I'm going to pull all these at the same time is because then once I get them out here, Now I'm going to pull them apart a little further. So hit the green check. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab the handle and the little pin. And I'm going to be taking these things off. So tweak these things off the end here in the axis. Good. And let's go ahead a little further. And then we're going to go ahead and take this pin out of its hole. Now, given that this is not on an isometric axis, okay, might do is just pull this down through the bottom here like this. But really, you want that to actually see with a hole that it's really going to be running into, and keep it in plane with that particular hole. Okay, more so there than the axis. So we're all looking pretty good here now. Let's go ahead and we'll take care of this gear next, and also hold down control, get that 10, what was it, 10-1, 10-2. Let's see here, it's going to be 10-2, and then we'll tweak this thing out. Now, if your arrow movements come up on some really funky angles, again, click that locate tool, and then move over here and select one of the planes that are on the axes, and then you can go ahead and start pulling the parts. Okay, so I'm going to get it up high enough, and then I'm going to start pulling it forward. Okay, I'm going to pull it out here so I have some nice clean real estate to work with out here. Now it seems like it's moving around on me here, so I'm really not sure I'm liking that. Let's go back and do that again. So I'm going to go back into my tweaks here, and again, these are all histories of my tweaks. If I open up this folder over here, these are all the tweaks that I just made. So that tweak came up and over. That was good. And then I want to go ahead and add an additional tweak to this. Again, let's locate from a center axis point and move this. Whoa! Guess I forgot to grab that little pin. So let's go back. Let's go all the way back here. And we'll do tweak. We're going to go ahead and grab the gear. We'll grab the pin also. Set the tweak location, and as you can see, this does take sometimes a few different goes at a few times here to get this to go where you want it to go, because again, this is a presentation. You want this to look good. All right, so that's in the right place. Green check that, and now we're ready to go ahead and pull that wee little pin out of the hole. All right, now given that this part is not moving on an isometric axis, however, it will more clearly explain the part if it moves back into the hole that's lining up with. And you can see where that tweak line goes right into that hole. It's exactly how we're going to want to have our tweak set up later once we get into the drawing piece. Alright, so let's go ahead and start working down here. I'm going to grab the squash block and the rack, and we'll go ahead and just tweak those forward off the front of this part, because that can actually come forward like such. Good. And we'll hit the green check, and then we're going to go ahead and tweak the squash block off of this part like such also. Good. And we'll keep going. We can go ahead and pull this off, and that really comes apart here. And we can even come off, and if we wanted to come down, but I think we'll have more real estate on the sheet if we move this way. That's good. Now we're looking to take this off, and I might as well pull this up and out just a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and pull these out of the hole once we have a final resting place. So let's go ahead and hold down control. We're going to go ahead and grab the wing nut, the thumb screw, and the crushing plate base. Tweak this out, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to come up. Good, and then we'll go ahead and slide it forward some where we have a little bit more space. Good, and then finish that out. Now we're ready to go ahead and pull these two particular fasteners apart here. We'll pull this over here like this. Check that out, and we'll pull this one out the opposite direction. All right, since we got space over here, we'll move it out. Okay. All right, good. Well, it looks like we got this thing all pulled apart here, and that's looking pretty good. Now we're ready to go ahead and put this on a sheet. All right, so to get this on a sheet, what we're going to do is I'm going to hit New Snapshot View, and what that does is it creates this snapshot. Now, I'm all the way at the end of my storyboard here, but if I slid the storyboard forward, you're going to see that there's movement that's occurring in my model, and this is how the thing would actually get put together, taken apart. You can hit play, and you can actually watch this thing move, and these parts and pieces start moving apart or coming back together. You can see that that rack's moving out here, and then the squash plate will come off, and it's really just the way that we have taken this apart. Now, this is useful so that if any point in time in the assembly you need to do sort of like an assembly instruction, you can stop and take pictures or storyboard views of the assembly process. So if you need to build, say, an assembly like how to put something together, IKEA style furniture situation, you can do that. Okay. So we're here at the end of the storyboard, and that's really where we want to work our snapshot from. And now we're going to go into our sheet set. So I'm going to go here into my sheet set, right click over here. I want to get a new sheet. This is C size sheet, and we'll go base view. Oh, I got to save that first. That's true. So we'll go back into here. I'm going to do file. I'll set this up as a save as, and we'll just call this dynamic assembly for dynamic sim 1. And I'm going to go ahead and call this video. Okay, because I know then what that's for. Hit save. And it's set. Now, went to a funky angle here. We're going to take this back to the isometric angle that we are really interested in portraying this in on our sheet. So that's good. But it'll still also work off the snapshot view because it's the snapshot that's getting put on the sheet, not necessarily what's being shown. So now we'll go base view, and I want to make sure I'm looking at the one that says dynamic sim video. That's it. And there it is. So this is 1 to 4. Can we get this to go a little larger? Perfect. At 1 to 2 looks good. And it just so happens this fits very nicely over here, working around that title block. So we'll go ahead and hit the plus symbol or the OK button. So now the biggest thing I see is what this kind of looks like is some spaghetti soup trail lines or tweak lines. We want to go ahead and start cleaning that up next. Okay, so to start cleaning up those trail lines, we need to go in here and get rid of a ton of these. Now, the ones we want to keep are the ones that are going to show a line from, say, the center of this axis to the center of the hole here for the shaft and the hole. So I really don't want to get rid of this one yet. I want to get rid of some other of these, though. So I'm going to select these. I'll right-click, and it's going to say hide trail segment. Yeah, I want to go ahead and get rid of that entire group. Now, that tidied that up. Now here, I don't necessarily need this trail segment either. We're going to go ahead and right-click. This one I just want to get rid of the current one, not the group, because I want to keep this one up here for the shaft. So we'll come back down here and say current. So it gets rid of the current one. Same with this one. We'll get rid of the current one. Really, I'd like to keep this one because it's this handle. First, the pin is in the handle. That slides into the hole. This all slides together here. Obviously, the pin doesn't go onto this until it gets on the handle, but it does fit into the hole. So we'll leave that. Here, I want to see if I can edit this one to then look to the hole, not necessarily just kind of stop in midair. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select that tweak line or trail line. I'm going to right-click on it, come down to Edit Tweak, and you can see it jumps back together here, which it's fine. I'm going to now click on this button. This is the Add New Trails, okay? And then I want to select it from this center axis endpoint here. And then it already sees the location that it's running into. So it adds that little green tweak there, and I hit the green check. And now you can see that line lining up and running into that hole. And that's exactly where this part should end up going. So this all looks pretty good up here. Let's start heading down here and taking a look at the rest of our drawing. So what I want to do here is I want to show that this part here is moving over and heading down this shaft. So how am I going to do that? So what I want to do is I want to mouse over these lines and show and see as I mouse over them, you can see what highlights. All right, so these two here really aren't going to do that. When I mouse over this one here, this tweak on down really is what makes this move. So that's one I think I'm going to work with. So these guys over here, we should be able to select those, right click, hit segment. Let's get rid of the current one. And we'll do it again. Let's do trail current. Good. Now let's see if we can edit this one. What we'll do is I'm going to select that lead tweak line or trail line, right click, do, let's see, edit tweak. Jumps over here, and that's fine. I'm going to grab this button here. This is that add new trail. And I'm going to go from this center axis right here, and you can see it just added that little green tweak line. Great. Hit the green check, and now you can see this is coming over and moving down onto the shaft of that number one part. So what I believe we should be able to do now is clean up the rest of this stuff because these tweak lines come together on this part. I don't need all these back here. So I can select them, right click, trail segment. Let's get rid of the current one. Let's go ahead and let's get rid of this current one because I really want this one to stay. Now this guy here, not sure what that's all about because I don't think we need it anymore. Let's select it, right click, hide trail, current, and whoops, lost the wrong one. Let's go back. Let's see. So the way we'll end up needing to edit this guy is going to be on the drawing, where we'll just go in and turn the visibility off. So that'll be a simple fix on the drawing. So now let's come down here and see what else we need. So we have this tweak running onto this part, but I'll probably do the same visibility trick on this, because I think if I try and turn this off, we're going to lose. No, we didn't lose them, so we'll keep those. So this keeps there, that stays there, that's all good. And then this little piece right here, maybe we might be able to tidy this one up a little bit if we do segment, and let's just do edit that. And let's see, can we get that to actually commit from, say, here to there? That looks better. And hit OK. So at least it's running to that point. That's fine. All right, that's pretty clean. Whole lot cleaner than what we had before. So I'm going to hit save on my part file, and yes to everything. Good. And then I got to update this, because if I go back to my drawing, it's still spaghetti soup. So I'm going to come back out here. We got to update this snapshot view, and you can see it even has a little symbol up here like, hey, update view. There it is, a little word. So yes, we want to update that view, and that view should be updated. Then if we go back and look at our drawing just updated. So this is just a great little tool here, how this all updates and changes. Now, we said that we needed to take care of this one right here, so I'm going to then select it or right click on it and turn the visibility off. So now we're back to a nice clean drawing. Now, what I don't really see here are all the tangent edges on this, and I need to see those. So I'm going to then right click on it, we're going to go to edit view, and let's go to display options, tangent edges, and then hit OK, and it's going to look a whole lot nicer, a little more accurate to the part. So the next thing we're talking about here is balloons and a parts list. So let's go up here to annotate. We'll go up here to parts list, select that. This is what we want a parts list of. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, hit OK, and drop this down here, kind of link it up here to the bottom corner, and take a look at it. We got part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a 10. All there, that's all good. Yeah, all the parts are there. And now we just need to start ballooning them. So I come over here, grab my number 1 balloon, and when you start pulling your balloons, what you want to do is kind of pull at a nice 45-degree angle. Click once, come out flat, click twice, right click and continue. And then you want to mimic that particular style the rest of the way through. I'm going to hit escape to get off of that command. And then you can take, and if you want to move the arrow onto the part to get a dot, sometimes it's a little more clearly explaining the part, you can do that. So let's keep moving through here. We'll go ahead and click on the part, nice 45-degree angle or so, come out, click again, continue. And then we'll just keep working our way down through here, come out, clear, straight, and continue. We'll grab this part. Now, obviously coming this way, I'm going to come out on this direction. Nice 45 and continue. Now you work your way all the way around the drawing doing this, and then hit escape. You can always come back and move your parts onto the object here, which might be a little cleaner and clearer to explain the parts. Okay, so either way is acceptable. I like to go ahead and move these onto the parts here to get that nice arrow, because it's then touching it. Doesn't add any confusion or anything else to that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop the video here and go ahead and balloon the rest of my parts. Okay, so gone ahead and ballooned all my parts, and if you take a look here, the item numbers here, item number 1, quantity 1, part 1, that should line up here with the shaft. Here it is. So there's item number 1 with one of those, and you can see how they link up. Now here you can see that this is item number 8, and then over here this is item number 8 also. That is because when you look at this item number 8, there's 2 of those, and that's part 10. So that works out well. This is the exploded view, nice and clean, not a lot of extra trail lines, and makes this work out. So hopefully this helps you get through the assembly view or the exploded assembly view drawing.